It's Halloween in the summer. Now, in my house, it's Halloween 365 24/7. And at the moment, everywhere is Summerween, summer spooks. I'm going to do spooky summer. This is my TBR for July. Roll tiles. Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to my channel where I talk about books and bricks and bookish things and spooky things all year round. At the moment, everywhere's mad about Summerween, or spooky summer or summer spooks. This is a spooky summer TBR for July for me. I'm going to do one in July and one in August. And I've even done myself a little graphic saying spooky summer. I've got one for Halloween. It's Halloween, as I said, all year for me. But I have decided to do an initial. Now, I always used to do a TBR religiously, but since I lost my husband, I haven't. I've just been mood reading pretty much. But I decided to do one for July and August. And this is my first one. And I've broken it down into 5 categories. Slashers, because you can't have summer without a slasher. Thrillers, because everybody loves a thriller, especially when they're on a holiday, right? Short story collections, because I love them. You can pick them up, put them down. It's just easy. A fantasy or like literature or just things that don't fit into a category, fiction. And then also my sister, my younger sister, Sue, down for a fortnight. She bought my scooter. I've got a scooter. I've got wheels. I've got wheels, my love. I'm trying to think of a name for her. I quite like Daisy or possibly Ermintrude, but she's very sleek and black and very gorgeous, and she's charging at the moment. So we'll be going for a little trip later on, so I'll certainly be vlogging that. But anyway, so I asked her to pick 3 books off my TBR, physical TBR. She doesn't know anything about the books. She's basically just picked them up on cover alone. So those are Sue's picks, 3 of those. So altogether, that's 12 books, I believe. Hopefully, 7 of them are Kindles and 5 of them are physical books. And I'm just going to run through them. So this is not going to be a particularly long video. Well, she says. I mean, I do talk a lot. Let's be honest about that. But anyway, first up, the slashers. I am going to be reading. I'm so looking for this on my TBR for so long. I'm so looking forward to it. Freakslaw by Jane Flett. Look at that cover. Isn't it gorgeous? Candy floss on fire. And this is, I don't tend to read the books. I like to go into things fairly blind. But for this purpose of this video, be a very short video otherwise. It's about a very repressed Scottish, yes, Scottish town, and this carnival freak show turns up, and everything goes to pot, and turns out that the carnival people have revenge on their minds. But it looks really good. It says, crackling with desire, hedonism, angst, violence, and sex. That's summer for you, innit? Anyway, so I'm looking forward to that one. The next one I'll be reading is on my Kindle. I've got my Kindle here so I can look up the synopsis. I'm going to read Slasher Camps for Slasher Victims. This is on KU, I believe. And it says, welcome to Camp Safe Woods, a summer camp dedicated to repairing the spirits of those who have faced the unimaginable. That sounds so good. I don't want to read the rest of it. It's about a girl called Annie who's on a life-altering journey. And then there's obviously a deranged killer because, camps, slashers, the usual. So that's that one. And then I'm also reading a summer slasher anthology. My thing's jumping about. Yeah. Stories of horror, mayhem, and the macabre. Summer slasher horror anthology. So I'm not sure how many books, how many stories there are, but this was also on KU. You'll find the unspeakable evil lurking deep within a mine shaft, a television broadcasting your worst nightmares, a knife-wielding killer stalking a summer camp classic, and many more terrifying tales. Read at your own risk. So I think this is an indie publication. So that looks really good, doesn't it? Also, my friends, on KU, I'll always try and give you KU recommendations if I can. Then next, I'm going to be reading also a thriller that I've had on my list for a very, very long time, called In a Blink of an Eye, by Jo Callaghan. Is it Jo Callaghan? I've had this on my TBR for ages, and it's part, I believe, of not a trilogy, a quadrilogy, about a human detective and an AI detective. I think that's what it's about. I've seen a couple of thriller people talk about it, so, and it won an award. The new, oh, it's good, isn't it? Dazzling debut from an exciting new voice. She's got 4 of these books now, so I'm going to read that one and see if I enjoy it. And if I do, I'll get the other 3. I actually bought it on a 99p Kindle, I think, the year it came out, which is probably a couple of years ago now. So I shall be reading that one as my thriller section. And the second one in the thriller section, because I'm not a big thriller fan, but I thought I'd give it a go. Finally going to get to Dissection of a Murder by Jo Murray. And this, of course, has been everywhere and everybody loves it. And it's about a woman lawyer who takes on her first murder case, and the opposing counsel is her husband. And I believe that the accused is not speaking, refuses to speak. I don't know, but yeah, lovely special edition. I got this from Amazon. I think it was about £8. It was on special offer, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll also, let me put that down there a second. There you go. I'll also be reading. Oh, that's it. That's my thriller section done. Thriller section done. Then my next one is short story collections. I've already got one, obviously, the Summer Slasher Anthology, but I thought I'd do a couple more. I've got an arc by Hayden Robinson, who's an indie author. I really love his writing. He's a very sweet man, him and his wife, called Plaything, which is an anthology of all different things about toys, I think. Not sure, really. Don't know anything about it. There's no synopsis. I don't like to read an arc with a synopsis. I like to go in blind. So that's a short story collection. So I'll be reading that one. I'll shove a picture up. I'm also reading, because I love deep sea horror, Depths of Darkness, which is an indie anthology. The indie horror chapter, which I originally started a few years ago, I'm not involved anymore because I can't do the travelling anymore. Their last BookCon was in Liverpool and at the Titanic conference room or something. So they decided to do an anthology, an horror anthology about the deep sea, because obviously it's a port, called Depths of Darkness, which is all full of lovely little indie authors. So I'm looking forward to that. Those short story collections are probably the things I'll read in bed, so I can just read a story and put it down. So that's what I usually do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to both of those. Now, at the moment, apart from the Arc and the Blink of an Eye, all of these are on KU. So if you have a KU membership, my darlings, check them out. Then the last, oh no, and then I'm going to read. I'm so excited about this. Is that Depths of Darkness, right? This is the fantasy, surrealism section, kind of fiction. So the first one I'm going to read is The Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I'll fling a picture up. And this is kind of for people who loved Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Do you remember that one about the Tokyo coffee shop, that if you sit in a certain chair, you can go back into the past or into the future? You can't change anything, but you can talk to people who were in at the same time. But you have to leave before the coffee gets cold. This is supposed to be the same kind of feel. So it says, in a tranquil neighborhood of Tokyo, 7 teenagers wake up to find their bedroom mirrors are shining. At a single touch, they are pulled from their lonely lives to a wondrous castle filled with winding stairways, watchful portraits, and twinkling chandeliers. In this new sanctuary, they are confronted with a set of clues leading to a hidden room where one of them will be granted a wish. Doesn't that fun? Doesn't that sound fun? I'm so looking forward to that one. And that came up as a 99p Kindle deal, which is why I got it. And then I'm also going to read the third part of The Line Folk of London. I read two of those in June, and they'll be in my June wrap up next week. And absolutely loved them. It's about this hidden community of creatures, species who live within the lines of the underground in London. They're called the Line Folk. And this nurse, Hannah, she takes this job at this clinic and specialising in treating these different creatures within, if they stay within the lines, which are all set up according to the underground and an ancient system, then they stay in human form. If they step outside of the lines, they convert to their original form. There's weircats, vampires, mages, what are they called? Um, oh, things that can turn into seals, kelpies, all these kind of things, different ones, different fish and creatures. And but yes, absolutely brilliant, absolutely loved it. They're all on KU, and I read the first two in June. It's called The Line Folk of London, book 1, 2, and 3. The third one is called Unusual Afflictions, which is I'll fling it up somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. The covers are fantastic, as you can see, and this one carries on the story. It's a 4-part series, so this is the third one. A young nymph collapses on the door of the clinic. Hannah Chadwick, the nurse, thinks she's dealing with a simple human infection. She's wrong. Within hours, the clinic is besieged by sick line folk, and the symptoms are as varied as they are terrifying. As the mysterious plague spreads like wildfire, Hannah and Flynn, that's the person who she's working with, who's the ab clinician, must abandon their sanctuary for a makeshift field hospital in the heart of the city. So I'm really looking forward to that. I read the other two in literally a day. They're only short, they're only about 250 pages, something like each. I read both of them, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. I was completely hooked in to this world. Absolutely brilliant. Fantasy's got to be very specific for me. I am not a big fantasy fan. I love Terry Pratchett, and at the other end of the scale, I love Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. But majority of modern fantasy I don't like, mainly because a lot of it is romantic, and I don't like that. Don't like anything romantic at all. I'm not a romantic person in any way, and I just find it cringy, so I don't read it. So those are my two fantasy surrealism, I guess they would be. Yeah, I think that's probably what they are. And then my sister's picks from my TBR are We Three Witches by Rosie Talbot. I love Rosie's work. She did 16 Souls and 12 Bones, which was um, about magic in York. I'm not sure where this is set. It says, part of a coven of 4 powerful witches, Viola Samphire's life falls apart when a mysterious fire kills Eddie, her unrequited love, and gives Viola the rare ability to see the dead. So this is kind of like a sapphic romance. Now the weird thing is, I'm straight. Well, kind of, mainly, and but I find sapphic or male and male characters really sweet. It's the male and female together that I find really cringy, like weird in it. But look at this cover, isn't it stunning? So I'll see how I get on with that. I'm not. I'll give it a go because I love Rosie. She's a friend, and I'll give it a go. Second, she picked Hideous Progeny by C.E. McGill, another stunning cover. And this, I believe, is a Frankenstein retelling. Deliciously gothic, inventive, queer. Again, this subversive twist on a classic tale brims with adventure. Victorian adventure novel cloaked in gothic imagery. Now, gothic fiction, if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, is my favourite, especially Edwardian and Victorian Gothic. I need to do a series on that actually. I absolutely love it. Got every single book from that time. I love it. But look, this looks so good. utterly absorbing, echoes the dark essence of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Susan Stokes Chapman, who's a fantastic gothic author herself. So that was the third one she picked. Good choices, Suze. And then the third one was from Abominable Book Club. Actually, it's the end of June, and I haven't had that yet, I don't think, this month. Oh, must be late again. Anyway, Cabaret in Flames by Hache Pueyo, maybe? Not sure. I probably just butchered that. Should be able to read it. I can speak Spanish. Um, I don't really know anything about it. A dark and dangerous story of survival secrets and despite all odds love. I read it with the doors locked and the lights on. Stunning and breathtaking. I believe this is magical surrealism, but beautiful little hardback. This was from and this is a signed copy. This is from Abominable Book Club. So that's the plan, my darlings. So, whether or not you're doing Summerween or Summer Spooks, I'm doing Spooky Summer. And as I said, I'm spooky 365, 24/7. It's Halloween every day in my house. But I do love I bought myself this, which is really cute, isn't it? I've got a sign behind me. I love the colours. I love the pastel colours. I prefer more bright colours myself. So I would always choose purple over lilac and, hot pink over pastel pink, but still. But yeah, so I love the imagery of it. And I know a lot of you will be doing readathons for all of them. And I hope you have a wonderful time. I won't be taking part in any of the readathons. I'll be doing my own thing. Because as I said, it's Halloween all year for me. I don't need a special event to read horror. I read it all the time. But anyway, hope you're all okay, my darlings. It's a bit cooler in England now, although the heat wave's coming back again. But wherever you are in the world, stay warm or cool, stay hydrated, keep reading fantastic books, building Lego, doing whatever brings you joy. If you enjoyed me wittering on about nonsense, then please consider subscribing and give me a like. And I will be back next week with my monthly wrap up for June. And then I'll probably be doing a vlog where I go out on my scooter. If any of you've got any good scooter names, let me know. She's a beauty. Goodbye, my darlings. Farewell.